Well, I was told I needed a guardianship because I'm not capable of taking care of myself, which is absolutely a gross falsehood. I feel fine. I don't use a walker. I don't use a cane. I don't wear a diaper. I'm in perfectly good health. My doctors will attest to it.
What is it like to have a guardian appointed to you?
It's very, it robs you of your whole life.
Well, how did it happen that you got involved in this guardianship?
Well, it was my children. My daughter specifically felt that maybe as I'm aging, I needed help, and she's working full time and couldn't give me the help that she felt I would eventually need. So she used this as a precaution, but it backfired on her, and she has regrets. She's written me many letters and apologizes, trying to reverse it, but once it goes through the courts, it's not very easy.
Is it true that you don't have a phone where you are?
Yes.
Esther, I understand that you used to live in a co-op in Great Neck, and that from there you wound up in North Shore Hospital. Can you give us a little history of what brought you from your co-op to the hospital?
Yes, I was at home by myself. My son was on vacation. My daughter was visiting her daughter in California, and I couldn't breathe. And I lied in bed and rested for a few minutes, and it didn't improve. So I called the EMT, the fire department, and told them, that I was having a problem breathing, and to please come over and take me to North Shore Hospital, which is the closest hospital to where I live, and so they did. And after 3 days, they said, being in the hospital, they said my heart was fine, and I was going to be dismissed, but instead of sending me home, they sent me up the hill, it's called, another part of the hospital, and it was the rehab center. And without asking me, did I want to go there or why I was going there, they just sent me up. And then they told me that I needed an aide to stay with me. They felt that maybe I couldn't take care of myself, which was not so. And I said fine, I would go along with it. And I had an aide that was $500 a week, and who was licensed, but they said that wasn't good enough. I needed an aide that was $1,500 a week, licensed and from an agency, and when I tell people about it, they can't believe it. $1,500 a week. How many people can afford that? How many people can really afford $1,500 a week? That's $6,000 a month. I can't afford it. And then finally, when they did let me go home, I found a $1,500 aide in my house that Mr. Rousman, the guardian, deviously put there. The first aide actually was very nice. It was just a matter of communication. The second aide, however, turned out to be quite different. She was very bossy. She was controlling. I went into the beautiful room that I let her use in my apartment, and she resented my being there when I needed to get something, and as a result of it, she pummeled me in my back and pushed me out, and I was totally shocked, and I realized that she had to go. This was the choice of Mr. Rousman, the guardian.
So I understand that once the police came and they took the report about what happened between you and your aide, they took all the information and then everybody left, correct?
Right.
Now, can you tell me what happened the following morning?
The following morning, I was sound asleep in bed, resting peacefully, when the phone rang, and to verify that I was at home. And then the two police officers, Mr. Rousman, the superintendent of the building, all came up, barged in, and told me to get dressed, that they were taking me to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, it was the emergency room, and then they were transferring me to the Zucker Pavilion of LIJ. Since he didn't have an aide, he decided a mental hospital would be the best place for me. So they kept me there for 2 weeks and then under examination. And of course I passed everything with flying colors. And then 2 weeks later he came back from his vacation and he said I could be discharged. And they brought me here.
Now, did they put you on any drugs while you were in the mental hospital?
They put me on Aricept and Abilify. Those are 2 drugs for people who are delusional. I'm certainly not delusional, so I refused to take them, but they coerced me and forced me to do so with 2 big, strong-armed men on either side of me, but I didn't put up a fuss. I just let them do it. And they injected me in my arm, and the second day they did the same thing, but when they saw that I was accepting, and I was calling my doctor, and the doctor there took the phone out of my hand and hung it up. She didn't let me talk to my doctor to find out if my family doctor wanted me to take those medications.
Now, had you been taking those medicines?
Never in my life. I never even heard of them. Never in my life had I taken either one.
Have you taken them since you left that hospital?
Never. No. Completely gone out of my life.
So, how does all this make you feel? I would be horrified.
I am horrified, but tell me, to whom do you turn to? The police won't help me. They're certainly not doing their job. They fall short of helping people in distress, and the doctors, the hospital, they all work together. It's a conspiracy. It's hanky-panky in plain English.
Well, if you could give one message to all the people watching you, what would you ask them for?
I would ask them that if in fact you have a person who you feel is in need of a guardian, don't hesitate to look into it very, very thoroughly, because there are many ifs and buts that don't apply. And in my case, I'm in a cell and I've been trapped, and the only thing that keeps me going is the fact that there are people who believe in justice, who are good, and who will help me, and I will come out of this with flying colors. And even in advance, I want to thank everybody who's helping me, and I know I'm a winner, and I will continue to be one. Hopefully, I'll have my freedom again so I can run around and drive my little car and go wherever I want to and do the things I enjoy doing.